Hey guys, it is your girl Shelley Meche'tte. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Look, before we go any further, before we get started, why don't you do your girl a favor and go ahead and click that subscribe button that's below. For those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who have come back to visit me again, I definitely appreciate you. Guys, these last couple of weeks, we have been like submerged with so much good stuff about the late rapper Nipsey Hussle. I have really, I feel a little gypped that I didn't get an opportunity to meet him or to go to his store. He did so many wonderful, great things. And I really just had an opportunity to know who he was, unfortunately, after his passing. But I wanted to take the opportunity to spend just a couple of minutes with you because Nipsey Hussle did so many amazing things and his mind was just so great. I just wanted to throw out a couple of things, 3 to be exact, that I actually learned from Nipsey Hussle. And I know that you guys learned, and even if you didn't learn some things, maybe it was just a reminder of some things. But as I sat back and listened to people speak at his celebration last week, I really just really had an opportunity again to look at what a great person he was and how much he really wanted to create change in his community. So here's the 3 things that I learned or was reminded of from the one and only Nipsey Hussle. One of the things that he reminded me of, or that he's pushing me to do, buy the block. So simple, yet not. I love the fact that he went back to a community that he grew up in, and he didn't just want to make change just like on the surface, but he wanted it to be even deeper. He literally bought businesses. And not only did he buy the business in order to elevate the community, but he used it as an opportunity to elevate people, to give jobs to people who may not have been able to get jobs anyplace else, to encourage people to go back to elementary schools and to really talk to the kids there. And if I'm not mistaken, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he also has something that had to do with the STEM program as well, because he wasn't just a rapper, you guys. I saw some videos of when he was a little bit younger, and he was always talking about real estate, always talking about how to create a change. When you own things, you can make a difference. Own the block so you can make a difference in the neighborhood. Now, maybe you're not interested in real estate in that way, but what about sitting on a board in some, at a school or at companies that are in your neighborhood? We make change and we create change when we put ourselves in the position to make change. I was a single mother, and I still have the dream of getting an apartment building, and using it for single parents to be able to live there. Because being a single parent is rough. And sometimes it's nice to not have to choose between lights and food. You want to see what you eat. Is that all right? But if I have the opportunity to buy an apartment building, then I have an opportunity to not only bring in single parents to live there, but then because I'm the owner, I have the opportunity to keep rent low, to help them, and to do other things. Buy the block, you guys. Think of different ways that you can really help your neighborhood, your old neighborhood, the neighborhood that you're in. And let's begin to come together and to work together. He really was about unity, and that is a beautiful thing. The second thing that I learned from Nipsey is your past does not have to dictate your future. We all have things that we've done that we may not be so proud of. And he was very open about his time being in gangs, but he used his past and a decision that was not the best decision to cultivate his being able to turn it into something else. So yes, he was a part of the gang, but how many of you have been a part of things that weren't in your, in your best interest? How many of you have made decisions that have been very bad decisions? Your past does not have to dictate your future, and it doesn't have to hold you captive. There's a purpose that you have. In fact, I don't know if it's a lyric from him or if it's just a quote, but it says something, he says something like, If you're not living purpose, you're just taking up air. And again, I could be paraphrasing, but the bottom line was we have a purpose. And if you're not living in that purpose, then what are you doing? A past that doesn't start off too great does not have to dictate what your purpose is and what you're walking in. You have purpose. We all have purpose. Some of us are actually going to discover our purpose and walk in it. Some of us will never discover our purpose. And then you have some that will discover purpose, but they're too fearful to do anything about it. Nipsey did not allow his past to stop his positive purpose, and neither should you. And then the third thing that I learned from Nipsey is when you create a positive impact, your legacy will influence those who you have never met and those who have never had an opportunity to meet you. Is that the same thing? Pretty much, kind of. I did not know really who Nipsey Hussle was. Actually, my youngest daughter did a performance with his daughter some years ago, maybe about 3 years ago. And my oldest said, "Oh, guess who that is? That's Nipsey Hussle." Didn't know who he was, but she told me that he was a big rapper. And then she told me a couple of things that he was doing in the neighborhood. Never heard of him again. I didn't even see what he looked like because I was sitting about 2 rows behind him diagonally. So I never even saw his face. Never heard of him again. Fast forward a few years later, I'm driving down Slauson and I see this huge billboard and it has that he was a Grammy nominated rapper. And so I said to my oldest, "Is this the young man who you were talking about? That, you know, he bought back businesses in the neighborhood and he does all of this wonderful work?" She said, "Yes, yes, yes." Guys, literally a couple of days later, he passed away. But he left a legacy that is so profound, that is so large, that people like me who didn't really know who he was, I'm inspired by it. When you leave a legacy and when you leave something positive, it goes far beyond your years. And so that is what I want to be able to practice, being able to leave a positive legacy, a positive word, positive works that are going to far outlast me. We're only here for a short amount of time. But when you leave something good and positive, your spirit, who you are, will last a very long time. So guys, buy back the block, pour back into your neighborhood. Don't let your past or a negative past stop you from walking in purpose, and leave a legacy that is going to continuously outlive you. Those are the things that Nipsey Hussle left for us. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that like button, subscribe, comment, and share. See you next time. Have a nice day. Bye.